Hello, my name is David Grant. I'm chair of the Pine River Watershed Initiative, an all-volunteer organization located within the Huron-Kinloss Township. The Pine River is 34 kilometers in length and covers 160 square kilometers of some of the best agricultural land in southern Ontario. You can see behind me a settling pond that controls the water flow out of 75 acres of farmland. So here we're filtering out the sediment, phosphates, and recovering the topsoil in the pond as it heads to the Pine River, which is just behind me. So this is an example of the berm projects. We have installed over a dozen berm projects now within the Pine River watershed. And you can see how the grass is taken on either side of the berm. It controls the water flow of over 80 acres of farmland coming down towards the Pine River, which is just in the tree line beyond the berm. So this was sponsored by federal, provincial money, COA money, over this spring. We did it when the ground was still frozen, so we reduced the compaction, and you can see that the crops are doing very well this year. So for 10 years now, Pine River has been installing exclusion fencing to keep cattle out of the tributaries and streams of the Pine River. Behind me, you can see on either side of the tributary coming in, they're joining up here from two separate sections. You can see the exclusion fencing. This used to be the hotspot for effluent moving into the Pine River. It now covers 3 farms. We put in over 2 kilometers of fencing along here. A whole section has been excluded from having cattle into the area. Previously too, we showed you some of the the cedars we planted in the low areas next to marshy and everything that continues to absorb the nutrients coming off the farmland into the low areas and into the Pine River. So we've installed over 300,000 trees now at the Pine River, all using volunteers and members of the community. So we're always looking for volunteers to join us, and we're looking for property owners to come forward with good projects within the watershed. Ultimately, our goal is to have the cleanest water we can coming out of the Pine River as it enters into Lake Huron and then starts flowing north in front of the beaches where the majority of the people of Huron-Kinloss live. So our goal is to have clean water entering the lake and reduce the algae buildup that happens in the summer period. This is really a watershed that only exists when we have heavy rain, the spring runoff and heavy rain events. Otherwise, by midsummer, most of the creeks and streams are dry. So this is why we have to control the flow of water into the river.